Does that update come with an intermission and a bathroom break? What was that, like 7 minutes?
All right. We'd like to thank you guys for listening to the show. Rieger's up next. 97.1.
Only thing the update was missing was like horoscopes and the Farmer's Almanac. Oh, my God.
Move over for my cars.
Oh, UFO just destroyed everything. Get to the right for my cruise. All right. Oh, my God. I got to recover from the update. I thought I had a bathroom break. So, listen. We're going to get to the Billups thing at 3 o'clock. I wanted to just kind of put a bow on something. You know somebody long enough, it's one thing. You work with somebody long enough, it's another. Meaning, it takes a lot to shock a person. So yesterday, we were doing the Michigan State stuff. And I made two statements where Rico, I don't want to oversell this, but your eyes got a little big. And you were like, whoa, wait a second here. Like, not that you're falling asleep when I'm talking. It was just you looked at me and you're like,
well, because occasionally, Mike, as you like to, you take things a step too far.
Correct.
And it was like, yeah, this isn't pre-show meeting. You actually said this over the air.
That's right. So what I wanted to do was do what we couldn't do yesterday, which was a little bit of a deeper dive into this. And stay with me, whether you're a Spartan or a Wolverine or you just don't care. I think what I'm really trying to say when I say the two things I said, I think it paints a picture of where I'm at with the sport at large. Less to do with Michigan State, more to do with sport at large. But I'm a big believer in just back up what you say with facts, or at least in today's world, your version of facts.
Right.
I feel like you could say factually the sky is blue, and ticket texters would say, actually, it's a shade of cyan and magenta. You can't get anyone to agree on anything. So I did two things yesterday. And I've said these multiple times, but yesterday it really struck Rico because we were talking about the rivalry.
Right.
And one was talking about, I use the term with MSU players, that the program and the players are gutless. They've lost the soul of the program. And you got eyes wide open. And you're right when I say, I can't say everyone is that. That's not fair.
Right.
But a vast majority in my mind are. So I did a little digging. And I wanted to back this up and see if I could get you to a point where you go, you know what, we can find common ground.
Right, because I'll explain where I came from after you.
You can explain it right now.
Oh, no, because the gutless means I looked at it as I just don't care. I'm just out there.
That's in the
just
escort portion.
Oh, okay. Gutless is because I know there are a lot of guys that they're out there. They're playing hard, Mike. I just don't think they have the leadership. I don't think they're being told what to do and how to do it. Like they need their coaching staff to really step up and get them to that next level. They try, but you're running on a treadmill. You're a hamster on that wheel. Like you're just going around and around in circles.
So let me offer you this. They played 7 football games this year.
Mm-hmm.
If I include the finale last year, in 8 football games so far, I feel like they have laid down and quit in 3 of them.
Well, here's the thing. You're not the only one that says that. Take it with a grain of salt. But when former Spartan Jalen Berger says, hey, I know these guys, and they quit in the third quarter.
UCLA was one. I thought they quit late in the Nebraska game, and they absolutely laid down with a bowl game on the line, giving up a zillion straight to Rutgers.
Yeah, you can't explain to me what happened in that Rutgers game.
They laid down.
The season was over. I'm ready to clean out my life. Basically, it was 1, 2, 3 Cancun.
Okay, so exactly. So now this is my perspective. Perspective is all we have. I don't expect everyone to share it. I view it like, all right, well, 3 games out of 8, you have laid down and quit. I feel that's gutless. I feel like the soul of the program is gone. Now, a part of that has to do with the escort portion. Here was the other interesting thing. So, Jonathan Smith is 3-10 in Big Ten play, 0-4 this year. Mm-hmm. But in the 10 losses, 9 of the 10 are by 10 or more points. And while you could sell me, hey, against Oregon, I hear you.
Ohio State.
I hear you. But when everyone else is walking the dog, I think that just lacks toughness, effort, and it's unacceptable. Yeah. The last piece. This is the one where you and I think, are simpatico because we're all heads. You came up in the late Perlis, early Saban era, correct? See, I didn't insult you by saying muddy waters.
Oh, I was
All
expecting it.
For me, it was late Saban and then into Bobby and John L. But the point is, we have seen the spectrum of Spartan teams. And whether it was the less talented Perlis teams that, in a lot of ways, even if you beat Michigan State, you knew you played them. Into Saban, which he was the king of the 6-6, but they fought, they scrapped, they battled. Yes, they would collapse and lose some games they shouldn't, but they had assassins. I mean, whether it was a guy no one knows like a Robert Newkirk, who I think at one point he threw a kid in a dumpster. The point is, Robert Newkirk to Sori Canoe to Ike Reese to Mike Austin to Carl Reeves to Coach Meat. They had, all the way to my era, like Josh Thornhill, TJ Turner, like Julian Peterson. They played, man. And even the John L. teams. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I just feel like we've lost it. They don't play tough. They don't hit. They don't have any form of defense. And I feel like gutless is the word to describe that. Now, the second one that was eyes wide open. I've made jokes about boats and hoes and prestige worldwide. But I do view today's college player, Michigan State's included, can't say all of them, but I do view college players today, they're nothing more than high-priced escorts, hookers, prostitutes, whatever you want to call them. And you go, well, how can you say that?
You know what? He explained this to me. Hear him out, folks.
Yeah, no.
Mike, the floor is yours.
It's cool.
Because you have a very good explanation.
So I'll give you an example. I watched a long-form interview with Lane Kiffin. Now, you can think Lane Kiffin's a complete waste of skin. That is your prerogative. But he said whether he's recruiting high school or the portal, they don't ask about facilities. They don't ask about the academics. They don't ask, are you going to take care of my kid? What's the offer? That's really not that different than Donna booking the vacuum salesman at the convention in Vegas. Oh. She ain't there for his personality. She don't care he's unhappy at home. There's a transaction taking place and it's for money. These kids they don't have a stake in the game. See, the difference is as adults out here, not only do we have contracts, but we have a fiduciary responsibility to this company. We also have no compete clauses. There's a stake in this. Performance to the good, performance to the bad. If I wanted to quit tomorrow, this company could sue me for a breach of my fiduciary responsibility. See, that's where, if you want to say, well, we're hookers too, not quite. Because we have stake in it, and the company has stake in us. See, this deal now, these players are just going to be on to the next client. They don't know the school. They don't know the rivalries. They don't walk where you walk. They don't do what you did.
The classes you took.
And the minute, whether they want to be there or not, they'll probably end up somewhere. It's not where they totally want to be, but it's the money. Mm-hmm. Again, that's why I've used the term escorts, prostitutes, whatever you want to call it.
Well, you had a great number. The amount of transfers
happened? It's roughly about 2.5 schools per 4 years. Yeah. And now kids are playing 5 years. It bumps to basically 3 schools. So it's a strictly transactional thing. And before people go, well, how the NFL is? No, it's not. The NFL, players make commitments.
Exactly. Because you can't be Jahmyr Gibbs, blows up, and then hits the open market and says, well, you know what? The Chiefs offer me more money, so I'm off to Kansas City.
Correct.
I'm hitting the portal.
And understand something. Listen, I know the animus for me is equal. Like, I get upset at the state of things. I can't hate on a kid for taking the money, but I can hate on what I have to watch that the minute things get hard, I've said this for 2 years to you and Cookies, I see more quit in college football today than 5 years ago. And I think it's a direct result of NIL and a direct result that right now you could have agents back channeling for next season. We've had family members of players call this show and say, we're going to X, but we got a game plan. And if it don't go the way we want, we're out. Think about that.
No, you're right, Mike, because what happens is, and it's unfortunate because I really thought that paying the players was really going to help this sport. And I feel like I'm fighting an uphill battle here. That in the end, I'm just going to acquiesce and say, you know what? You were right the whole time. You were Kaiser Sose.
I'm not.
And I didn't know anything because you were right. Because when things get tough, it used to be, okay, well, next man up, or you start saying, all right, David's going to graduate next year and I'm going to have his job. So let me just keep playing. I'll suck it up because he's gone. Now it's almost passive quitting. Whereas, I'm not going to be working here in another month or two. So for the next 30 days, you get very minimal effort from that person, from that job.
So here's my point. I want to know, beyond the shock value that Rico was like, all right, hold on a minute now. Whoa. Look, these terms are not meant to hurt anybody's feelings. They're just an expression of how I believe and see the world. It doesn't mean I'm right, but I view it that right now we're just in an age, these guys are nothing more than escorts. They have no stake in anything. They don't care about your kids. They don't care about your problems at home. They're there and the money's on the dashboard or the end table or what nightstand, dashboard.
Or all three.
Whoa, wait a second.
Truck stops. All right.
Hold on a minute. Somebody call Hugh Grant. But like my whole thing is, am I accurately painting a picture of college football for you, the fan? See, you guys are the lifeblood of it. You guys are the ones who love this sport. So when I say, look, my program feels gutless right now, and I put that on the players, and part of that is the system the players exist in, like Rico giving you a great example. And then I think these players are nothing more than escorts. This is vapid transactional. You'll find players who go to schools they love. You'll find players who actually want to get a degree or want to play in a scheme. But when coaches, multiple, including high-profile ones like Lane Kiffin, tell you this is what recruiting is, boats and hoes, then why is it wrong to view it that way? 248-539-9797. If that is not an accurate painting of the state of college football and why the rivalries are dying, then tell me what your version is. That's all I'm asking you to do. And I'm happy to defend my position, but you need to present yours. 248-539-9797. Cool?
Cool.
We'll do it.
I'll even add to something.
Yes.
Next.
Boats and hoes. All right. Sorry.